I've been procrastinating on this like crazy. Oh my god, I've literally chopped all of it. So I was influenced. This is bad plant parent behavior. Look how crazy this plant is. It's insane. Hello friends, and welcome to probably a very long plant chores vlog. Basically, I've got a lot of plant chores to do, and I figured I'd take you with me over the course of like a few days, a week or something, just until I feel like I've gotten everything done, because I don't know, there's just so many like small things that I keep putting off. I've been very much so procrastinating on a lot of things, and so why not have you help me do them? So that's the plan for today. Maybe grab yourself some plant chores or a snack, drink, or a craft or something, and we can chill out together while I do these plant chores. Before we do though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now let's get into the first port of call. You can tell I'm in the office. Joe is not in here today, and I'm in the office because I need to be doing some pesty business. So I recently found thrips on my variegated monstera I have here, and so I treated that. And then a few days later, I found some on my Ficus elastica shibarianas that live here as well. They're currently in the bathroom because I treated them as well. But I need to basically have like a very, very thorough look on these guys. Just to make sure, genuinely, I haven't seen any on the fry deck, so let's hope, but like obviously they're very much so touching, so gotta do that. And then this area as well also had thrips, and so I want to treat those ones. And I think today might be the day that I chop up my Arabian sunset, because it's literally consuming the grow light. There's a grow light in there and you can barely even tell. So I figure we can do these things together and get the plant chores done. Right, let me grab a nice bowl of water and we can make up some alcohol horticultural soap solution and give these plants a little bit of a wipe. Okay, so it turns out I don't have any isopropyl alcohol at the minute. I must have finished it, but I'm going to be using horticultural soap, and I've just got this bowl of water here, and we're gonna really glob it in. The weird thing about this soap is it's like a jelly consistency, the little jelly soap that I'm just going to mix in. I kind of have to do it with my hands to kind of squeeze it all out. And I've got two implements here. For smooth leaves, I'll use the sponge, and for velvety leaves, I'll use the shaver brush. And we can just go through and do this together. Speaking of velvety leaves though, I genuinely don't think that the felt bush has them. I feel like it's almost too thick for thrips. Like too succulent-y. So we're just gonna move this to the side and hope that it doesn't actually have any. And we can carry on with this section. We're gonna do this on the ground purely because I'm lazy and it's easier to do so on the ground, I think. But I guess I kind of just want to like chat as well. Oh, that's too much. I wish it's probably better if I maybe I should just use the sponge. Where's the sponge? There's the sponge. No. frick. Oh my goodness. I just spilled semi-hydro all over the floor. It's because it's fully dehydrated, this one. I should probably water it as well. Maybe we go to the bathroom. Maybe we go to the bathroom with these plants instead of trying to do them over the carpet when the floor's gonna get covered in crap. The bathroom might be a better option because I can bring this one as well as some of the plants from on top of the litter box. I feel like that is probably the best way to go about this because I think it's just gonna be messier than I thought. I thought I'd be able to just do it in here, but I genuinely don't think I should. Okay, cool. Let's go to the bathroom. Oh, great start to a video. I hope it gets better. Okay. We're just gonna do these one at a time and I'll bring them in as I go. But just gonna give them like a thorough wipe down with this. And I can always rinse it off later. And so horticultural soap it won't like kill them long term, but any that are on here will basically get killed by the soap immediately. And so it'll stop any that are on here from laying eggs, etc., and furthering the issue. So it is a very good thing to use, especially in conjunction with predatory mites, which I do have some more of that I need to put on the plants. But essentially this problem has probably existed for a minute now, and because I've just been so busy and essentially not taking care of my plants, I think that's what's happened. But it's a really difficult one because I am very much so like a habit-based person, and I feel like I'm out of the habit of taking care of my plants, and so I just don't end up doing it because I'm out of the habit. And like I have barely been able to make myself water over these past couple months, just because it's felt like I'll only do it when I start seeing things are doing really, really poorly, which I know is not this is not how you're supposed to take care of your plants. And luckily, for the most part, my plants are pretty hardy, and so they can like tolerate this slight bit of abuse and neglect that I'm giving them. Maybe I'll shift that way. So yeah, they've been able to like tolerate it, but it's not good for them, really. It's like this one, obviously it is fully dry. And I try not to let my semi-hydro stuff get fully dry ever, because that's how you end up getting like issues with rotting. Also, sorry, I put my hair up because I've suddenly gotten really, really warm. This bathroom traps a lot of heat, and so I'll just sit in here sweating for a little while I do this. But what was I saying? Yeah, I just basically feel like I'm out of the habit of doing plant care and making sure that my plants are okay, and I don't like it. Maybe it's plant burnout. I really don't know, because it's like I don't feel overwhelmed. It doesn't feel like I've got so much stuff to do that I'm overwhelmed. It is just getting started that's currently difficult for me. And like I know a lot of you have probably experienced that before, and I don't think it's that I'm like falling out of love with the hobby or anything, because that's not the case. It's just, I don't know. Joe and I feel like we're in a little bit of a limbo at the minute, because we're wanting a bit more space and like room to like function. And while I've been pretty good at like continuing to downsize my plant collection for the most part, yes, I am still getting plants here and there. I'm not gonna like stop completely. It is my job. But like I'm doing a pretty good job downsizing, or like chopping and extending moss poles and like getting rid of the bottoms really quickly, because that's something I used to not do. I would save the bottoms for like in case the top fails, and then I would literally neglect the bottom until it died, and I would end up throwing it away. And so I'm proud of myself for not doing that. This morning I actually went and gave somebody the bottom of the dubia that I chopped in one of the last videos. And so okay, yeah, like I feel like I'm doing pretty well, but I don't know, I just don't feel like we have enough space here, and like things just feel cluttered. And save getting rid of half of my plant collection, which I really don't want to do, I don't know how to make space. I don't know. Things are just feeling tight at the minute. And maybe it's the heat, because the heat does just like make things more difficult. We did just get an AC in our flat, like a little portable one, because it's a bajillion degrees in here, and inside, like when it's hot in the summer, it is hot outside, but then the inside of our flat gets warmer than the outside, and so it just ends up being so warm, which I think is good for some plants but not for others, and it just means that things dry out so fast, and I'm just having to constantly water, and yeah, it just feels like a lot, you know? Did I do this leaf already? Yeah, that looks moist. I didn't do that one. And that one I'm just going to remove because that's past its prime. That one. Okay, now let me get the next plant or two. I'm just gonna have a quick look over this guy, but I haven't seen even any signs of damage. This one's always a little bit crispy edged because it needs probably more moisture than I give it, but that's okay. And I also need to remove the flowers from this. Like, ugh, gross. One of them just fell into the bottom. This is really weird. So, pretty sure when I planted this up, I would have planted it so it was in the middle. But as of right now, there's not any plant in the middle. They've like all pushed themselves around the outside of the pot. I don't know why that's happened. I should probably give it a bigger pot, to be honest, because it is looking a little bit tight in there, which is not good. And what was I saying? I feel like maybe, oh god, this sounds scary to say, but what if like plants aren't my hyper focus anymore? I obviously freaking love them and I want to keep growing them and I like taking care of them or whatever, but I don't feel like I'm in, maybe it's just time, and like having been doing this for years and years now, like I don't have the same sort of excitement about them as I did when I was new. And like I end up speaking to my patrons who are like really new into plants, and like I see how excited they are about getting new ones, and like how inquisitive they are about things, and I feel like I'm a little bit envious of that. Like I kind of wish I could go back and be at the beginning of my plant journey again, because I think that'd be really nice. It'd be a fun, I don't know, should I start over? Should I get rid of my entire collection and start over from scratch? The thing is, I really don't want to do that. There's definitely some plants in my collection that I would consider at the very least sentimental, and like to the point of them feeling irreplaceable to me. Like my Tycon, which I rescued from root rot and have been trying to grow for years and years and years. It's finally gotten to the point where it's a nice, decent plant, and so if I got rid of it, having to start that over would be like a little bit devastating. I really don't know, and I feel like I'm kind of just like waffling and like I don't know if any of this makes any sense, but just trying to share where my mind's at, because I feel like my mind's not in its sort of normal like plant care loving spot, which is sad. But the thing is, I don't know what my, like, if plants aren't my hyper focus anymore, what do I move on to? Like, I don't feel like I'm just not feeling very passionate at the minute about things. And it could be a lot of things. It could be the like high and low of doing the show at Malvern, because it was such a high, and then to be like suddenly done with that and like not have something to work towards. It very well could be that, actually, because I feel like that's a thing. I feel like I kind of got that after the wedding as well, mine and Joe's wedding, where like all I was doing, the only thing in my brain was wedding, and then Malvern. And then once it's done, there's nothing for, like, there's just a bit of a void in my head, where Malvern was before and is no longer. Maybe I just need to find a new project. Maybe I just need to work on my wedding plant business, which I genuinely really want to do, and like I'm taking steps to go towards that. In addition to doing YouTube, I'm not stopping here because I freaking love doing this, but like it's super scary to start a new job from scratch, like to start a new business from scratch. Like what if it doesn't go well? What if no one wants it? What if I fail? And like I know failure is part of success. Like I fully, wholeheartedly believe that. But I'm also extremely terrified of failure. So I don't know. It's just a bit of a difficult one. I don't know what the right answer is for any of this. And not that I'm looking for an answer at all. Like I am just kind of talking, and you guys are being my therapist right now. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just like talking through it, because it's better to talk through it and like share what's going on than to like bottle it all up and whatever. So let me grab the next one. Can you see how gigantic my Branchifolia pink passion has gotten? Look at that, it's huge. And let me check it first before don't see any sort of pest damage, though there is damage on these leaves from where they have gone and touched the grow light, because this one is a little bit of a dummy in that it just like it gets itself too close to the grow light and then burns itself. So that's good and healthy, right? But I feel like that's another reason why I need to like change up this corner, because the plants in there, they've gotten too tall. The grow light's done too well. Which, I mean, good problems to have, right? But when I don't have the space, where do I put it? And I feel like I just want to move, but we can't afford to move. So it's all just a bit of weirdness. Oh my god. I find this one so difficult to clean as well. Give me a sec. Oh my god. This one has also gotten huge. Like so big. Which is amazing. But I'm like, what the frick do I do with this? Okay, let me just wipe this down quickly because it's a little bit too awkward to do so with while talking. So far, the good thing is I've not actually seen any pests on any of these, which is really, really good. And so I don't think I need to worry about these ones at all. I should probably also bring in here the few that are on the on that plant stand, the Repotting, Tetrasperma. I mean, I looked at the Florida Ghost the other day, but I guess it couldn't hurt to check it just in case. And then the El Choco Red. Do those ones. And then we can head back into the office and sort out the Arabian Sunset, because essentially, instead of cleaning that one, I might just chop it back to nothing. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It's grown so well for me. I'm sure it'll grow back. Okay, so let me get those couple more things. Also, can we talk about how freaking long my Repotting Tetrasperma has gotten? It is huge. And I hope it doesn't have pests. Maybe I should just like pop this into the bottom of the one I have on the pole, because this is, I find this is a slightly different version of Repotting Tetrasperma to the one I have on the pole in the bedroom. This one, I feel like it grows more compact and the leaves are like a slightly different shape. I think one's TC and one's not. I think that's the gist of it, but I don't know which one's which. So I should probably trellis this or something. Oh, you know what I could do? I could put this on where I'm taking the Arabian sunset off because I'm chopping it. That's actually very, very, very smart, Emma. So let me wipe this down, and then unfortunately I think I did find thrips on my El Choco, not on the newest leaf, which is good, but on some of the older ones there is a little bit of, I've seen some juvenile thrips, and some of the like sort of light brown adult ones, which is good. I mean, those are the ones that I can deal with easily, as opposed to the others. So I'll probably actually treat this with Prevanto. I know I don't normally like using chemical pesticides, but I find it, like, for things like that, I just find it a little bit easier. And so it's like all of these ones that don't actually have pests on them, I'll happily do preventative stuff in a more natural way. I will do natural prevention, absolutely fine. But like treatment and like trying to get rid of them and like cure them, that is like, for me, chemical is the easiest way to like do it and not have to repeat things, which I know it doesn't go well with my with predatory mites. So I obviously won't be able to put predatory mites on the plants that I do use chemical pesticides with, but all of these ones, they can have predatory mites go on them and be totally fine, and that would probably just like double down and make sure that there won't be any problems. But this one's gonna be kind of annoying to do, so let's just speed through it. Okay, I am not sure I'm ready to do this mentally, but we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it, and like there's no harm in it at all. Like, you can see how much it's not growing in this bottom bit, and then how much it's being or it's trying to devour the grow light. So I think I'm kind of tempted to just like, oh my god. Oh my god. I've literally chopped all of it. Like, huge things. Okay, maybe this is something that would be good to give cuttings away. If anyone's interested, if you're UK based specifically, and you're willing to pay shipping, I'll give the first 5 people who say they want them some cuttings. Cool? Like I said, they're not going to be amazing. I'll obviously chop it smaller than this, and they probably won't be rooted, but it'll be fun. Also, like, there's so many dead leaves in this. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Like, do you see this branch? This is all one stem. This has just like been such a prolific grower. That's why I'm like not worried about chopping it back to nothing, because I have full faith, like 100% faith. Okay, maybe 99% faith. I have full faith that I'll be able to get it back. Because I could always, so I kind of have two options here. I could, one, I could keep the bottom and the whole root system. That's currently in semi-hydro. I could keep that bottom bit. Or option number two, which I potentially like better, is starting from cuttings again. I really don't know. Put your vote. What would you do? Would you keep the bottom, or would you start over from cuttings? Given that's assuming the cuttings don't have pests, which I'm pretty positive that they don't. I will obviously check over them all before sending them out to anyone, just to like quadruple check. Oops. Because I don't want to send anyone pests by accident. But oh my god. Holy cow. It's gone. It looks so empty here. But I feel like this would be a really good place. Sorry, I've actually attached it to this pot with this trellis. I feel like that would be a really good place for the Rufidifora to climb up. Like, have it go up and down a few times. I feel like that would be really nice. But yeah, so put in the comments if you would keep the bottom bit and start over from here, or keep some cuttings and start over from cuttings. I genuinely do not know what I should do. Maybe I'll pop a poll on Instagram as well. Just to see what they have to say over there. I feel like I find Instagram really useful for that kind of thing. Polls. Oh, also, if you were interested in the cuttings of this plant, you need to message me over on Instagram, because I can't do anything from your comments here. But if you private message me on Instagram, we can work something out. I'm just picking off all the little bits of dead caterpillar and stuff. I guess I'll get a bucket and put these in that. Chop it up further. Whew, intense. All right, I've got this massive bucket that had birdseed in that I think I'm just going to take cuttings and pop them in there like that. Should I keep wet sticks as well? I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like I'll keep anything with leaves on it, just to be able to send them out. And I'll pop water in this bucket when it is, once it's full. That was actually really cathartic to like chop this so intensely. I feel like I have gotten much more confident in just like making the decision to chop things, because I feel like that's such a great way to, like, I suppose like it's a great way to lower the amount of plants you have in your collection. Just chop them up and reset it back to nothing. And like, this was such a big plant in my care that I no longer have to worry about, if that makes sense. So maybe I should do this for more plants, because then I just have less to worry about. Because I can. See, like that's mostly empty now. These are mostly empty now. But yeah, I feel like a good way to downsize is to just chop things. Because I don't need all of the plants all the time, do I? No. It is hard to take that step though, especially if it's a plant that you like. Like I really like this one. But I think I'll be really grateful to myself that I've done this, because this has kind of been weighing on my mind for a while. Like I've known that I've needed to do something with it because of where it's been underneath that grow light, getting burn marks and stuff. Like a lot of the cuttings have sort of cosmetic burn damage on it, unfortunately. And so, I mean, like that sucks a little bit. Luckily it's not pest damage, because that would be more of a concern. But it's not great either. And it's possible that not all of these chops will work out, but that's okay as well. Like, if I've got so many of them, I should be able to like have enough to give some away and to also keep some. Like, no way I wouldn't. Okay. My massive pot of cuttings here. And these are all just like leaves I cut off of the bottom joints because I don't need them. And I just also have so many sticks. Do I want to wet stick this? I mean, I could always like pop the bottoms into, I could just always pop them in with cuttings that I send out. And if people want them, they can keep them. And if they don't need to keep them, you know? I feel like that's probably the best bet. And they might not root. And so then I don't worry about it. But it feels like a waste to not at least try to propagate these bits, you know? Now, let me grab my watering can. And we can give this a good water. Also, probably by now, since it's so freaking warm, the plants that were like drying in the bathroom should probably be dry by now, I would think. So we can put them back into the space. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put this giant box of cuttings. I guess I'll just like pop it on a shelf or something. It does kind of have a big footprint. But you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of those barrels or like buckets of flowers you see at florists. That it's giving like the exact same vibes as that right now. Okay, that should do for now. And I've got to now clean up all of these like leaves and stuff. Just throw them away, I guess. And in theory, I thought about literally just throwing this whole thing away. Not the whole thing, like I would keep the bit that I'm trying to keep for myself. But it's so tempting to just like throw the rest of it away. Because I am, in theory, creating more work for myself by choosing to give it away to people. But the thing is, like, why wouldn't I want to share the love? You know? Why not? Why not? Like, I have so much to go around. It's just, like, I would not blame anyone for just chucking the bit that they don't want. You know what I mean? Like, that's... If I didn't have a platform, I would absolutely just chuck it away. But I do, and so if I can share more plants with more people and spread the love, that's what I'm going to try and do. But, genuinely... Just bin it. Just bin the plant, really. Just bin it. Just done that. At least it was mostly dehydrated. But it's really annoying because I only just cleaned up all the... Oh my god, look at those roots. Oh my god. I only just cleaned up the semi-hydro that I spilled on the floor literally an hour ago. Oh, okay. It's annoying. Also just gonna give this a bit of a wipe down. Didn't mean to get the wall there, but it's okay. Okay, so I already have this guy on a trellis, so I might leave the trellis in here for now just for like initial support and then clip the rest onto this. Does that make sense? I think it should be fine. Also, it needs a new cache pot because I want to keep the one that was in the other thing in that thing. So obviously it's a bit tall. I guess I can just go up and around a couple of times. I feel like there's no harm in that. It doesn't have to be like perfect, I don't think. Regardless, I think it's going to swallow the light a whole heck of a lot less than the other one was. Just by how it grows, it's not quite as insane growth-wise. Oh. Like, I don't find that it branches out as much in the same sort of way. So this that should work for now. And it doesn't look phenomenal, but it'll get there in time. It doesn't need to be perfect. That's kind of my thought on it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It will grow bigger and it will kind of adjust to being in this sort of situation eventually. And then the only difference though is this is not a semi-hydro plant, so I am gonna have to be a little bit more on top of watering that one because it is in soil. So I will have to pay more attention to that, but that is something that I can do. I just need to do it. So let's put the other alocasias and the schismatoglottis back here and we can get this back to how it's supposed to be. It's just gonna give this stuff in this area a little bit more room as well. Just like room to spread out a bit, which is nice. This tuck that back there and then go into the corner with that. That one can go there. I also need to give all of these water, so I can do that right after this. You know what? Do you think I should put my variegated Frydek on here as well? Because before I had the crystallinum, which I chopped back to a stump, but I could put this somewhere different. And then maybe the variegated Frydek there. I think that would look good. Like in there like that. Yeah, I think that suits. Just going in with some fertilizer water on these ones. I did just normal water on the begonia cuttings. I mean, I probably could have used fertilizer water, but I mean, normal water is fine for them. And these ones I want to be fertilized, so it is the better option. Could probably also clean this section before putting things back. Would probably be a good idea. I also need to figure out what's gonna go where the Raphitetra was, because something will need to go there. Maybe something on a moss pole or something tall and skinny. Those are kind of my two main options with it. I'll have to have a quick look around to see what the best option is, but this is clear. We can put things back. I guess I can pop that up there. Give these a bit of a water as well. Okay, hi, I am here the next day with a parcel to open. So I was influenced. You know how like normally boxes have a thing that's like you can rip it or like cut it or something? I feel like IKEA's missing a trick on this one. They've not done that. But I was influenced to get this like potential moss pole watering device. So I saw these on Jamie Potts Things page. Oh my gosh. Incredibly intense. Oh my god, why is there so many... How many layers of packaging is there? So I saw this. This is going so well. So I saw these on Jamie Potts Things page, and she said it's like a great thing for moss poles and one of the best things they found for them. So I went and ordered myself 6, mostly because they were a very, very, very low cost, and I needed to get up to the £15 min spend. Otherwise I couldn't place the order to come to my house. So I put in an order for many of these. So I really hope these work, because if they don't, that's going to be really annoying because I have 6, but I think they definitely will. So essentially it comes in these 2 parts, and you kind of just, wait, how does it attach? Is there a, oh, there's a, I was going to say, how does that go in? There's 3 parts. This is a very important part as well. This goes on top of the terracotta bottom bit. And this terracotta bottom bit doesn't have any sort of holes. So with my moss poles, for the past quite a while, I've been watering them with like a cup with holes in it in the bottom. This one's kind of blocked up, but you can see there's like tiny holes, like pinprick holes that I've poked in the bottom of this cup. And then I fill it with water, and then the water slowly goes out through this hole into the moss pole, so it doesn't go like too fast and sort of drain out too quickly. It lets the moss hydrate at a slower pace, which is what it needs. But these, oh my goodness, this is slightly difficult to get on. But basically this is a little terracotta thing, and terracotta is porous, which means that once the water goes into the bottom bit, it will moisture and like slowly, sorry, it's gotten really dark. I feel like this whole section of video is very like brain scattered. I'm just being a bit of a scatterbrain in the minute. But once the water can go down here, it can exit through the porous surface, which I'm actually going to try right now, which this could be a poor idea seeing as I don't have it in a plant, but I just want to see, like, I want to watch it get moist, if that makes sense, just to see if that works. So I'm just going to fill that up, and we can see how long it takes for it to sort of get in there. But when I saw Jamie do these, like over the course of maybe like a couple minutes in the video, it fully hydrated this, and eventually, oh my god, look! Did you see that color change? That changed so quickly. it was like an instant, and I can feel like it's already moist in there. Oh my gosh, and there's like a dry spot on this side. How crazy is that? I kind of wasn't expecting it to be like that quick, but essentially the water can get through the terracotta and then go into the moss pole and slowly hydrate it. And also this comes with 4 parts. It comes with like a lid thing that doesn't actually like attach on, but you can cover it, which could be good because I tend to like end up getting moss and crap in my cups on top of the poles, and that's why they end up getting gross like this. The only thing that I would need to figure out is whether or not this would let fertilizer through, because I tend to fertilize into my moss poles as well when I water, and that's why it gets a little bit gunky at the bottom there, because that's kind of just like fertilizer residue. And I don't know if fertilizer would pass through this stake bit, but maybe that's just something I need to, like, every now and then I would fertilize with a spray bottle or something like that. If the pole is staying more moist, it'll be more accepting to other forms of fertilization. But basically this is just getting a little bit shiny and wet in here. And there's 2 different sizes as well. Now I just need to hold this the whole time. That's not ideal. I'm gonna pour it out. There's 2 different sizes, and I got both because I wanted to try both. Oh my god, this is huge. Jeez. Okay. The small versus the large is much, much bigger. But if I am using it on like a big moss pole, that could be a really good thing. The bottom terracotta bit is the same size, so that doesn't change. You don't need to put it any like deeper into the pole, which is good. But it's just the reservoir that's bigger on the bigger ones. So let's watch this again, because I kind of want to do it, and like you can see it happen. So I'm not going to speed this clip up at all. I'm just going to let it go through, and hopefully we can watch this change. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That was so cool. Yeah, so it just slowly starts absorbing the water, which is fun. And I guess what I'll need to do is to try it out in a pole. That's probably the first thing I should do. Let's see. I'm trying to think what pole would be a good one to try it in. I might try it in my Ernestii pole. And I probably won't do the big one on that one because it's not a big plant. But we can try it together. And I mean, I won't be able to report back in this video, but I mean, I just think it's cool. I just like trying new things. And like anything to make my houseplant care easier, worth it. So I probably want the little one here. And I'm just gonna make a bit of a hole in the moss here with my finger. Nothing special. Okay, maybe I need to do it a little bit more intensely. Okay, so it's just in the moss there. And I suppose we just see if this works. Essentially, if the water level goes down, which it very well might, I don't want to say might not, it might not, but I think it will go down. I might pop this on a time lapse or something, just so we can see how long it takes for the moisture in this to fully drain, and we can potentially watch the moss get hydrated as well. I don't know. Let's give it a go. Okay, so it's been half an hour and it has ever so slightly gone down. I'll put some comparison pictures. I'll flip back and forth between them because that's literally the only way you can tell that it's gone down. I think this is just a much more slow process. And I mean, I don't know. I don't. We're gonna hope it works. And if it doesn't, then I've wasted 15 pounds. But you know, it's just 15 pounds. It's not a big deal. I think it will though, and I feel like these could definitely work as well for sort of popping in pots when you're going away on holiday or something like that, just to make sure that things stay hydrated on your like most thirsty plants. But I mean, I guess I could tell you in a few days how I feel about these. I will keep testing this one, and we can see. Maybe tomorrow morning it will have drained fully, you know what I mean? We'll see. Okay, hi again. It's been a couple of days. Basically, it's just been too disgustingly hot to film. Like, even with the AC on in our flat, it was like 28 degrees inside. And so it was just like a bit too much. I basically couldn't, like, You saw the bit where I was doing moss pole stuff, and I needed to have the AC on, otherwise I was going to literally melt. I'm glad we have the AC because I just absolutely could not have functioned. But we're back at it, and I'm finally, it's been far too long. I've been procrastinating on this like crazy. Gonna go into my box of plants that I got from Downtown Plant Club months ago. They have been literally sitting in this box the entire time. I have not taken them out since I checked up on them like a month in, or like a couple weeks in. So we're gonna go through these together, and I'm finally going to put my variegated heartleaf into my variegated heartleaf. So it's all one big plant instead of being two, because that's kind of the whole reason that I got it. So let us get going here. Oh my gosh, I've got great growth on these things. Oh, well, some of them. Okay, let me pull you in a bit. So right off the bat, this black one, oh my god, I can't even remember what it's called. Oh, I'll put it up on the screen because it's just completely gone out of my head. Aside from having like one of the leaves literally go to mush on the side, which is totally fine. I get it. This box is extremely humid. So like, of course, if I was going to lose some leaves, they would go grossly. But it is otherwise growing amazingly. Look at that new leaf on there. So beautiful, dark black. It's rooted like crazy. And in fact, the roots have started to grow upward because it's run out of water in the reservoir. And so the roots have started to try and go upward because it is a very humid box. So like, that is not a surprise to me. I will pop this. Well, I will put water in this, obviously, and then I'll pop it into the IKEA cabinet. I still don't see any sort of like pests or anything on it, so I think we are good to go on that front. The variegated, which one is it? Gosh, it's been so long I don't even remember. This is bad. This is bad plant parent behavior. Buying things, putting them in a random box, and then not remembering what they are. This is what I'm saying when like overconsumption is real, and I am a participant in it, and I shouldn't be. I was like so excited about these plants as well, so like this is entirely on me. But some sort of variegated alocasia in here. This one's a little bit more, it's almost like braided itself in there, which is kind of fun. But again, this one is gone fully dry. Oh, it's got really good roots though. Fully dry, and so that's probably not helped the growth. And it was also like, it was already taller than the box when I checked it ages ago, and so I'm not surprised that it's gotten a bit like squished and warped in this time. Hopefully it going into a bigger space like the IKEA cabinet will allow it to grow a little bit better. And oh my gosh, it's got a little baby corm that's popped up a leaf, which is freaking stinking cute. So those need to go somewhere else. My Hoya, oh gosh, silver something or other. Again, this is bad. I'm very much so one of those people that like, I need repetition to remember things, and because I haven't looked at these and seen their names in quite a long time, my brain's just gone, I do not remember what it is. Because all of these were just like cool things that I saw on the website, and so this is entirely my fault. But it's got some really beautiful leaves on there, some more growing up there. It's had a grow light above it, which is great, so I wonder, I guess I could like chop and prop there, because it's gotten a bit of a runner, and then pop that bit down into the soil. That is a possibility. I'm also gonna like actually just root prune these crazy roots off, because they like, the reason this has stayed so moist is because I put water at the bottom of this container to make sure that they stayed hydrated, which they totally have. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. Do I want to chop and prop it? Or even just chop it? I've just gotten so scissor happy lately. I'm like so willing to cut things randomly. And then finally, we've got this one, my variegated heartleaf, which is like kind of the reason I'm pulling it out today, is to pop this into the other one. And this one's doing so well. It is so much more variegated than my previous one, which, like, I mean, it's fine. It wasn't a bad plant, but like, it'll just be so much nicer to have a really lovely full variegated one, I think. Like, just adding this in here, like, I like the mix of it. That's what I'm excited for. And maybe I can, I was gonna say I can chop and prop some of these, but there is some like random bits of like small variegation on these leaves. Like, they're not entirely unvariegated. So, I mean, I probably could find some to chop. There's probably at least one vine that's not variegated in here, and I can chop you back a little bit. Yeah, I think this one's not. Okay. Let me grab, boop. Yeah, so this whole vine isn't variegated, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be. But because it's gotten so long, it's just kind of like, I don't need so much length on it. What's going on here? This is another one that's not variegated. So that, and then, I mean, that does look kind of weird with just having the one. But maybe I can chop this one for, oh gosh, that's very wet. Chop this one for propagation. I'll chop it there. That's nicer. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so my main plan for these was to go together, which I think is totally doable. But I'm probably going to need a bigger pot. These ones weren't incredibly rooted when I originally repotted it, but they are not very rooted, but much more rooted now. And I probably don't even need to get new soil for these ones. It does stink a little bit of rot, but like, I think it's just the soil decomposing a little bit, because it's not like, the roots seem actually really healthy in here. So like, I'm not worried. It's just a little bit stinky. Oops. And then this guy, let's see what the roots are like on this one. Okay, I mean, I've had this one for so much longer that, of course, the roots are going to be just generally a bit better. Kind of hard to see in there, but they are very good. I think it will be a little bit too, like, combining two pots this size, I can't put them into one that size. So I was thinking I could potentially pop it into, do I need bigger? Pop it into that. This pot. Do I need it to be clear though? That's the thing. Or could I say, I feel like I could save this for something better. That's the thing. I keep wanting to save this for something better, but like, is there something better that I could put in it? I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I actually didn't pull many pots bigger, so I need to go grab one a little bit larger. Give me a sec. Okay, cool. I like this size compared to the previous. It is a good chunk bigger, but not too big. And I am actually gonna try and separate this out a little bit, because I don't just want it to be like all variegated in one chunk and not variegated in the other. So I can kind of put these really nice variegated cuttings in in and around. You know. If I could get them apart, which I might not be able to. There we go. So just kind of like mix them in there randomly. I guess those two can go together on that side. And then we just go in with the really, really wet soil, both of them. I think I just watered the one that wasn't in the box yesterday, and so it was very, very moist. And I am just using Monstera and Philodendron soil from Soil Ninja, as always. I'm not an affiliate with them anymore, but like I absolutely still love their stuff. And I didn't stop being an affiliate because I stopped liking their stuff. I stopped because they ended their program, and so I couldn't possibly be an affiliate because they don't have an affiliate program anymore. So not my fault, not their fault. All love there. Every once in a while, I'll do stuff with them on a more like sponsorship basis, but not in the same sort of regular affiliate sort of thing. But I really still love their stuff, so highly recommend it if you are in UK or EU. And I feel like this is going to look a little bit messy for a minute, just because I'm like put plants in a way that they're not used to sitting. But it should be fine. There we go. A better mixed pot here. That looks so nice. I love the way that looks. Just like a bit more mixed in there is very nice. And hopefully it'll grow long and viney. That's the sort of goal for this one. If it could do that, that would be great. I would love that. And in theory I could grow this up a moss pole, but I would really love it to trail down and like vine down. Actually, I have not new spots necessarily, but I have more spots on the area above my bed, which I could put this one. I need to see if I have a pot big enough for this nursery pot though. I'm not sure I do. I'll have a look in a little bit. Whoop. And then these ones are just going to get some water. Just to fill them up. This might go very poorly because the roots might have dried out too much in this time. That is entirely on me. If these go downhill now, it's completely my fault. So let's hope they do not. Though I can fully blame myself if I do. But like, look at this. I'm just obsessed with the darkness of this leaf. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, this was the one I was going to chop and prop. Do I even fancy doing that? I kind of don't, you know. I kind of really don't. I'm just gonna bin it. It's fine. And then another thing that I did the other day, which I think you probably saw, was on my Philodendron Splendid. I chopped where I want to split it, moss pole wise, so that I can just work with the top bit, because it has been getting a little bit tall lately. So I guess that's the other thing we can do now. Some moss pole surgery. Not really surgery, it's mostly just removing the bottom half, which I will have to find a new home for. I'm sure I can do that though. I do feel quite a bit of relief having done the stuff in that box though, because it like, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has plant chores that like they know they need to do. Like, I am fully aware that I need to be doing quite a lot of stuff, but I just, like, it's just been sitting there. It's been literally on my list on my phone for a plant chores video for ages, and I've just not done it. And it's like, why have I not? Why wouldn't, like, it's so easy to do. Why am I procrastinating on this? I just needed to take them out. Like, it's not that deep. That took me 20 minutes to like do those things. Easy as. Why am I procrastinating on it? I really don't know. There we go. It's just such a weird thing. And like kind of really annoying. Let's see if we can split this one. Ooh, that was like way easy. Okay. Chill. Cool. I don't currently have an extension for this one either. Unfortunately, I have run out of moss, so I need to get some more of that. But I'm gonna have to take some moss out of the bottom of this anyways to pop it into its pot, so I can just pop that into the top. Also, this one's gone dry again. Oh my god, also, I should talk about my, the new moss pole thingy-jiggers. I think they're doing quite well, actually. I think that they are, working. I think it's one of those things that I need to test for a little bit longer, just because I haven't, like, 1 week isn't gonna be the, like, end-all be-all of this experiment with them. And so I need to take a little bit more time and like see what's what. But I do really like them so far. I think they are quite good at keeping things slowly hydrated, which is nice. It's more of like a, it's slower than the cups with the holes, which is pretty crazy. So hopefully this, like, sort of long term is a good solution, especially for like, I don't know, for ones that I like in the office and stuff. Maybe I'll be able to better have plants on moss poles in the office with this as an option. Y'all saw that I put the Arnestii in the office as well, in that tall spot. So hopefully it does well in there. But yeah, just taking all the moss out of the bottom bit of that pole. And I know this is, again, selfish of me, but I am going to take the clear pot from in here. They are just my favorite, and so it's like, if I can keep the clear pot, I will. And it fits this pole so perfectly that, like, why would I not want to keep it? But I am just going to pull that out and then pop that in. Easy as. I will solder some holes in this in a little bit. Ooh, okay, it's a bit dry. I will solder some holes in this in a little bit, just to make sure it stays in there well. But I don't need to do that right this second. Oh, I'm gonna need to cut these leaves off the bottom, because they'll be under the soil, and I don't need that. But basically, I have found this actually really helps to cut the stems of the plant in advance of doing the, like, pole chop, chop and extend, just because it makes it, it gives the plant time to callus over, which is really important. So that's good. I should also just like pop this one in the shower a little bit because it is a little bit dry. Basically all of my moss pools and stuff have gone super dry in these past couple of days, because it's just been so dry, and hot. There we go. Attached, and then we can just pop in soil to the bottom. And eventually I will extend this moss pole, but like I said, I need to get some more moss, and then I can make that happen. I know a lot of people are also getting rid of their moss poles at the minute. I feel like I've heard / seen, like, was it Plants by Melissa? She's just entirely gotten rid of all of her moss poles, or at least I saw a video thumbnail that said that she did. So that's crazy. I feel like Wild Fern's been like not doing as many moss pole things and like trying to minimize her moss poles, which is kind of crazy. Like, I get it, you don't want to have too many, and it is like definitely work, but like, I love my plants on moss poles. I feel like since I've started using these like D-shaped moss poles with the plastic bags and the sort of front opening ones as well, which I freaking love, I've been really enjoying my moss poles. I've found that like my plants actually work. My plants, for the most part, have been able to size up on them, and like, that's like all you can ask for with your plants. So why would you not want to do that? And I suppose if you're switching to something different, like cork bark or something, which I haven't had amazing experience with, but like I know other people have, like, fine, you can switch to that, but like, I don't know, I still really like moss poles themselves. So I don't know why people are kind of moving away from them. It was like kind of a huge thing a few years back to like be putting everything on moss poles, like everything that needs to be, not just like frivolously putting stuff on moss poles. And now it's like not the thing anymore, which is so weird. I don't know, I'm gonna keep doing it, so you can't stop me. Oh, I might switch. No, because that would look weird. I feel like this would look weird next to the Glorious because they're so similar in leaf style. I was going to say I could switch the Cebu Blue and this one because my Cebu Blue, now that it's got the extension on it, quite tall. And the space where I have this one, quite tall, like there's good space there. But putting this, I don't want to put this next to the Glorious because it's just like, they're too similar, and this one's not sized up enough, if that makes sense, for it to like look good stylishly, and that's purely stylish, not necessarily for like light and space and stuff. But yeah, there we go. That is good and done now, easy peasy. Oh, actually, let me put the moss in the top. Just gonna take the moss that I took out of the bottom and pop it in the top here, because I don't want to waste it. And I probably will be putting a front opening moss pole on the top of this one when I do, because I have ones that are this size. Because this size is slightly smaller than my other D-shaped moss poles. I don't exactly remember where I got this one, but they're smaller, and so I can't put my normal size ones on top of it, which is fine, but annoying, and so I feel like front opening is going to have to be the answer, because I'm pretty sure those are about this size, so that will have to do. Pop that back in the top, and we can go from here. Like I said, I am genuinely just throwing these cuttings away And I want to reiterate that that's okay. You're totally allowed to throw stuff away. I know I kind of mentioned it earlier in this video, but like I was chatting with my friend after that, and like it's just such, I don't know, like let me sit down so I'm not standing awkwardly in the kitchen like this. But I was chatting with my friend, and basically they were super duper overwhelmed that they like wanted to get rid of these plants and like felt really guilty over it, and like basically needed someone to tell them that it's okay to throw away plants. It is okay to throw away plants. If they're not bringing you joy, get rid of them. Like, it is just, it's totally fine. I mean, if the plants are healthy, instead of throwing them away, I'll normally put them out on the curb with a little sign that says free, and like in London, someone will take them. If you don't live in a sort of community that has that sort of neighborhood, fine. You can always put a post on like, I feel like neighborhood Facebook groups or something. I feel like they've got a sort of like swap section or something. I don't know, just be like, I don't want this plant, does anyone want it? And like minimal effort kind of thing. If I can do that, I will try. And like I said earlier in this video, because I have a platform, I feel like slightly more obligated to try and not throw things away, because I can get rid of them so much easier, though it is creating more work for me to like volunteer to like get rid of my begonia cuttings by posting them out to people. That is work for me. I need to like figure out who's taking them, box them all up, and go to the post office and stuff. So like it's not just, it's creating more work really, and it's totally okay to not want to do that. You don't have to do that at all. And like if you're feeling overwhelmed with things, if things aren't doing well, if you've got like spider mites or thrips or something on your plants and you just you can't anymore, bin them, and that's okay. And I know that might be like slightly controversial advice and some people will not agree with that, but that's how I feel. This is a hobby, remember, this is a hobby for 99% of the people here, and your hobbies are meant to be fun and enjoyable and not overwhelming and stressful and stuff. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, it's okay to get rid of some plants. It's okay to throw them away. Like, don't worry. It is fine. Just needed to reiterate that again. Also, I was talking to my patrons about it, and they were saying how in outdoor gardening, people just prune their plants and then they bin those prunings. Like, they don't chop their plant and think, oh gosh, I should try and like get this to somebody else immediately. Maybe they do in the gardening world, but I really highly doubt that that is a thing. They'll just prune their plants and then they chuck it in the like garden waste bin. So like, why don't we do that in the houseplant community with plants that we're pruning or like chopping up as well? Yeah, I really found that interesting, and just a different perspective as well to this whole sort of non-argument, discussion is a better word for it. But I just wanted to say, it's totally fine. Throw the plant away. It's all good. So these are the other two that I want to shower off today. The Majestic, because I've just let it get too dehydrated, unfortunately. That is entirely a me problem. And then the Dubia, I find it so difficult to water this moss pole. I think maybe the cup I have is just a little bit too big at the top of it, and it lets out the water like slightly too fast for the moss. The holes are a little bit large on this cup. I mean, they're not big by any means, but they're bigger than some other cups I have. So maybe I just need to get a slightly smaller cup or a cup with less big holes. But basically, it lets the water out too fast, and so it doesn't actually like absorb into the moss, and so it has gotten quite dry, but look how crazy this plant is. It's insane. And as I suspected when I did the chop, when I did the big switch over to the new pot, this one did try and put out another leaf, and that leaf failed. I feel like that's just a very common thing for me with this one. Whenever I do any sort of like big work to it, not like showering it off like I'm gonna do today, but any sort of substantial work, it like throws a fit and like throws away the next leaf on it. So let us get these all nice and showered, and we'll be good to go. Oh my god, it's also just like I'm sweating already. My bathroom just stays really warm. So let's chuck some music on and time lapse through this bit. Might actually really quick shift that out the way, and this one even, so I can do the first one and it's not gonna be as difficult. Just gonna let these soak up for a little bit, and I think we're good. So I actually don't think I'm going to wait for those to dry to finish this video, because let's be honest, I'm just gonna put them back in their places and like that's gonna be it. I can't think of any other things off the top of my head that I have been procrastinating on. I don't think. I'm really proud of myself for actually getting those things done, because I've been literally putting them off for months and they've been like long overdue. So thank you so much for being here and helping me like get these plant tours done. I really appreciate it. I wouldn't be able to do it without having made this video, because I can't break the cycle on my own. I cannot break the procrastination cycle. So thank you. But I hope you were able to potentially get some stuff done during this video as well, whether it's plant chores, crafts, or just like having some relaxation time, which is always really important. This can be like active rest almost, maybe. I don't know. But thank you so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If I touched on anything here that you want more information on, let me know and I can hopefully make that happen, and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget you can be notified when I post YouTube videos if you click the little bell icon there. So that's there if you would like it. But yeah, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!